Alright, so what I got here is the next 4 to 6 month plan. If you own no Bitcoin right now and you decide that storing your wealth in Bitcoin is a good idea, I think that this plan is the safest way to go about purchasing it and holding it. So this is over the next 4 to 6 months. Today is July 7th, 2019. Bitcoin, if you don't have certainty or are confused on Bitcoin, watch my other video, the Bitcoin introduction, or read the paper I wrote, and read Safe's book, The Bitcoin Standard. So this is a 4 to 6 month plan for acquiring Bitcoin if you have none right now. So 5 to 15% of your net worth on the initial accumulation. So currently you have no Bitcoin. I recommend starting with at least 5% of your net worth, buying in and storing your wealth in here. And it's not even that you're really betting on Bitcoin going up, it's that you're realizing Bitcoin is a threat to the current happenings and the current system, and the current money is extremely easy money. It's printed money. It's clearly being printed at fast rates right now. I mean, the low interest rates alone, the debt. I mean, all the clues are there that this next recession is probably about 2 to 3 years away. I'm not saying that your money in the market isn't going to go up over the next years. I think it is. I'm not saying that your money in anything isn't going to go up. I think everything's pretty much going to go up because that's how the bubble has to go. But Bitcoin will go up with everything else because Bitcoin is speculation until it surpasses gold completely as the hardest form of money and proves itself as the hardest form of money. It's not even that hard of a speculation. It just has to keep running as it's been running for 9 years now, and everything has been improving. All the innovation has been happening over the last 2 years. That's been a bear market for Bitcoin. So if you are deciding that you're going to put in 5 to 15% of your net worth, buying at the right price is almost impossible because there's no way of knowing for certain what the next price of Bitcoin is going to be, how much it's going to be a month from now, a year from now, tomorrow, even in 10 minutes. You can only speculate, and our means of communication on Bitcoin are through price. That's how we communicate our knowledge on Bitcoin. That's how we communicate our knowledge on everything. So price dictates everything. Price is king. Bitcoin, since its birth, has just created higher and higher bottoms. It was worth well less than a penny when it initially started. And it built all the way to $100, and just newer and newer bottoms got created along the way to where you will never ever be able to purchase Bitcoin at those prices again, and that's going to continue. So this next 4 to 6 month period is when the new bottom will be created or verified. It could have already happened at $3,200 is most likely the bottom. It's possible that a lower low gets created from there. That's why we're waiting and seeing what this pullback happens. But this pullback will dictate when the bottom is in. And I think this pullback is going to take 4 to 6 months, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Actually, I'll show you why now, because we'll go into why we're accumulating the amounts we're accumulating at the other prices. So I have a chart up here. This is Bitcoin on a weekly scale. So every candle on this chart is a 1 week candle. Where we want to look is what happened recently. So around December, actually February 2019, Bitcoin selling ran out. People stopped selling Bitcoin, and that will make the price move up. And that's what happened. It went on this bull run, this mini bull run, which can easily also be called a bull trap, because it didn't get to that previous high of $20,000. So it's actually a lower low from the high. So there's no evidence yet that the actual bottom is in. The only way we'll get evidence that the bottom is in is if a proper pullback happens, it goes sideways for a while and then starts going up again. Then the bull run is officially kicked off. And this is how all market structures operate. This is just human emotion. What I have here, though, on these last candles is this is the cloud. So it's just different moving averages and mixed with time and how it is likely to play out. So it's one of the many indicators. But I think, and I've looked at tons of them, I think that this is the best way of explaining it to someone that doesn't understand trading. Right now, Bitcoin is at $11,200. It pulled back and touched this moving average here at $9,500 and the cloud, and pulled all the way up here back to $11,500. So we had from the top, if we measure this move from there, the top of that wick, to here, we had a 30% pullback. Now that is enough to create a higher low from the initial bottom of $3,000 and go on a bull run from here. That is possible. I don't think it's likely, because when you look at the moving averages and the way the cloud structure is here, it is very likely over the next months, so this would be all the way to September, for Bitcoin to be coming around this $7,500 mark, and November, coming down to the $6,500 mark. It's not going to play out perfectly like that, but I think there'll be a sideways accumulation period before the actual bull run kicks off. This is the most likely scenario, I think. So for the bottom being in here at 9,500, I am giving that about a 12% possibility. So if that were to happen, then our game plan has to change into acquiring Bitcoin at these higher prices. You're not really going to have a choice on that. If we're lucky and that doesn't happen, then we'll be able to acquire some Bitcoin here at 7,500 to 8,500, and some, around this $5,500 area. I believe 5,500 is a major key support. This is where the twist happens in the cloud, and with time, I could easily see it coming down to here and then kicking off the bull run from there. I think we're lucky in that every coin that is not Bitcoin is a complete scam, and they're taking up 40% of the entire cryptocurrency market at this moment. So they have to be eradicated. They have to essentially go to zero. They're not worth anything. They don't do anything. They can't do anything. They're just a waste of processing power, a waste of human energy. They're a complete waste of time. I mean, they're Ponzi schemes that were made to steal money from people that don't know any better. That's all that they are. Bitcoin is blockchain. Bitcoin is crypto. Bitcoin's the only thing that is. Every single idea that we have for using Bitcoin can be placed as a secondary solution on top of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the winner. Bitcoin will be the winner, and I believe this will be the new storyline anyway in the next 4 to 6 months as these altcoins start to take their dives and lose their value, and people lose their interest in them because they don't do anything. They haven't done anything. They made promises. They came up with new ideas, but everything can be placed on top of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's is the only possibility of decentralized currency. So over the next months, if I were to guess, we're just going to see kind of a slow run down, to this like $5,500 area, and that's when it will make its decision to go up or down. I think that's most likely, but like I said, there are possibilities of this being the bottom here at $9,700. And if that is the case, then the bull run is going to kick off and these prices are going to move fast. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint and describe how we're going to buy Bitcoin. The amounts. So the $9,500 to $12,500 range I just talked about, I'm giving that a 12% chance of being the absolute bottom at this date and time for Bitcoin. So you want to acquire 12% of your accumulation amount. So I'm going with a number of $10,000 to keep it simple. So $10,000 would mean the person has a net worth of about $100,000 if they want to put in 10% of their net worth. So you're going to invest $10,000 total dollars buying into these different levels. So between $9,500 and $12,500, you're going to put in 12% of $1,200 worth of your buy-ins for those levels. So you're just going to stagger in at different amounts, or just buy it, at whatever price in this amount, 12%. So now you have 0.12 Bitcoin at this point, assuming Bitcoin's $10,000. So you're, $10,000 pretty much says you want to acquire at least one Bitcoin, which I think one Bitcoin is a great amount to really start with as your holding position. I think it's a great safety net for any recession. I mean, Bitcoin will win if the markets are going up, and Bitcoin will win if the markets are going down as a hedge against a recession. So it's kind of a win-win to be putting your money into Bitcoin. The $5,500 to $8,500 range, as I showed in the chart here, this range from 5,500 here to 8,500, so this range right in here, that's most likely going to be, I'm giving that a 50% chance of being the absolute bottom. So you want to acquire $5,000 worth of your Bitcoin in this area. And then if Bitcoin were to drop below this range, it's going to revisit the bottom. It's going to revisit this $3,000 bottom and probably create something, like a wick, like this blow off top wick here, where it went up and then got sold off very harshly. It's going to be the opposite down here. It's going to be sold off and bought up very harshly. So you can actually have buy orders in and get them filled while you're not sitting at your computer at these low levels. And then you can purchase Bitcoin at those low levels very cheaply. And that's what creates the wick, is a lot of smart people are doing that. So at those levels, you want to acquire the rest of your Bitcoin. And I highly recommend acquiring extra at these levels, because Bitcoin's not going to be revisiting these levels ever again, ever. So between the top here and 9,700 here is a 12% chance, and then from here, from the 9,700 to the $5,500 range, is a 50% chance, and then from the 5,500 all the way down here to 2,700 is essentially the remaining 30%. I'm going to talk about the possibility of it going down to $1,000, and if it does go down to $1,000, it will be one of those wicks, as I was talking about before. It's going to shake out everybody, but there will be plenty of money down there waiting to buy it. And the only reason it could even visit these levels is because all of the altcoins are fake. But since Bitcoin already has 63% of its dominance back, I feel once it acquires 85 to 90% of its dominance back, it will be ready to go on its official bull run. And this will be the king of bull runs, this next one. This will be similar to gold when it's in 2002, when it went from $200 to $2,000, and now we're in this same sideways accumulation pattern. And it looks like gold's chart as well looks, that's the monthly. It has the same kind of cloud structure to where it's starting to come up, and you know, gold is looking bullish as well, but that's only because everything is looking bullish. I think enough people in the world know that these dollars are printed, and having them in the bank is the least safe thing we can do. It is the most risky thing you can do, is to hold your money in the bank right now. Banks are going to fail. Dollars are going to continue getting printed. Hard times will come after this bubble happens, but that's probably not for another 2 years or so. So that would be my plan on Bitcoin, and this way you are safe, because you're going to own an entire Bitcoin, and there's only 15 million Bitcoins available in the entire world, and this is a global currency, and this is the hardest, best form of money that there is. Gold is a hot mess. I don't even comprehend gold. It's too confusing. There's too much history. The same people that are printing the dollars also hold the gold. So this Bitcoin thing is the out for humanity. The Federal Reserve has stated that they have no control over Bitcoin. Nobody does. The government does not. I'm not going to go into this. It's all in my other video. This is strictly the plan for buying into Bitcoin. You're going to buy in, you're going to dollar cost average in as it goes down. That's the smartest thing you can do. Is we can be grateful for every $100,000 it continues to go down. It's a big deal. To realize that this next 4 to 6 months is the accumulation phase, and you want to be a part of that, so you're not paying $25,000, $30,000 for a Bitcoin, because those aren't going to be the new lows. Like, you're going to be buying in the middle of the uptrend, and that's generally, for lack of a better word, what sheep do, and that's how the money's been stolen from the middle class for all of these years. Inflation, taxes, and this trading. I mean, that's how all the money flows. The people working are too busy working to open their eyes and see what's happening, but this is what's happening, and this is what's always happened. It's not complicated. They want to pretend it's complicated because they want to scare you into working, and they want you to think money's real, but money is not real. I'm not going to sit here and say Bitcoin is any more real than the dollar. They're both just beliefs in our mind, but according to history, people generally move toward the hardest form of money, and to have something like this, this type of opportunity is not going to arise for us ever again in our history. Not in my lifetime. I mean, this opportunity is right here in the next 4 to 6 months for the taking, and it really deserves your mental energy to go into it and look at it, because you spent a lot of time in your life working very, very hard. So you want to preserve your wealth the best you can. Please try your best to not associate Bitcoin with me. Bitcoin, I didn't make Bitcoin. I don't even have any right now either. So it doesn't have anything to do with me. It's essentially unstoppable artificial intelligence at work. I mean, and it's better because now we don't have to trust humans with our money. We can trust computers to verify it, and we don't have to hand our money over to these Wall Street schemers, these banking schemers. I mean, they do steal. I don't know how to put it nicely. I don't know why I have to put it nicely. We want to trust them, but they're not trustworthy. So Bitcoin works off verification, not trust. So contact me if you need help buying it and storing it. You're going to want to get a hard wallet. You're going to want to get a Trezor or a Nano X. And you're going to want to buy it directly from the websites. You're not going to want to buy it from any other third party or anything. You're going to just, for safety reasons, you're going to want to buy it directly from the website. And this is what a Trezor just comes in this, and that's your hard wallet right there. And then you just transfer, after you purchase it on Coinbase or purchase it directly from somebody, you just transfer it onto that hard wallet, and it's yours, and nobody can take it from you. Nobody can confiscate it from you. It's yours. And as more and more people hold money like that, the price is going to reflect it, and the price is very low. And I think it's very low because, you know, for the timing of it going up to the next halving in 1 year, the production of Bitcoins will be chopped in half. So it will be an even harder form of money. So the inflation will be down to about 3% per year, which is extremely low. And then after those 4 years, it'll be down to 1.5%. And when it reaches that in 5 years, when it reaches that 1.5%, it's the king. It surpasses gold, and it's now the king. And the price will reflect that. People are not stupid. People are aware. Any fears you have, please feel free to talk to me about them, because you don't want them clouding up your mind, ruining your day. Okay? I can help put your mind at ease with this Bitcoin shit. So, good luck, and thanks for your time.